Hello students of class 10th, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So dear students, let us continue with the chapter 7, Necklace, written by Goethe Maupassant. So dear students, as we know that this is a beautiful story about a woman, Matilda Loisel. Matilda Loisel is a greedy woman in this story. She wants to be rich. She always keeps on thinking about the life of rich people. So that is why she is happy. She is born in the family of clerk. So that is why she has to get married with a clerk. But the lady in this story, she is not satisfied with her present condition. One day, her husband comes back from the house with a card, with an invitation card. He has been invited by a minister for a party. When he shows the card to the lady, instead of being happy as the husband expected for, she is not happy. Instead, she starts complaining that she does not have any dress which she can wear for the party. Then her husband was ready to buy her dress. Her husband gives her 400 francs, which he saved to buy a gun so that he can join the hunting party. He sacrifices his feelings, his emotions, but gives her 400 francs to buy a dress. Thus, Matilda buys a beautiful, pretty dress for the party. When she puts on the dress, she realizes that her neck was empty. Then she demands for a necklace or anything which she can wear around her neck. Her husband advises her to go one of her friends and borrow anything to wear around her neck. She goes to her and she borrows a necklace for the party. So, dear students, let's see what happens next in the story. So, you all are requested to take out your Footprints Without Feet textbook and open it at page number 42. Okay, so before beginning reading and explanation, let me write some difficult words and their meanings. So I hope you all are ready for the same, and you all must have opened your book at page number 42. So let us begin. Page number 42. First word is elegant. Elegant. Elegant means having a good or attractive style. Having a good or attractive style. Okay. Next word is gracious. Gracious. Okay. Gracious means comfortable way of life. Comfortable way of life that rich people can have. Rich people can have. Okay. Next word is salons. SALONS. Salons means, a decorated rooms here. Decorated rooms. Salons means decorated rooms. Okay, students. Next word is modest. MODEST. Modest means common. Modest means common. So please write down these words. Then I will rub these words and write down more words. So please better write them down. Elegant. Elegant means having a good or attractive style. Gracious. Gracious means comfortable way of life that rich people can have. Saloons. Saloons means decorated rooms, and modest means common. So I hope you all have written these words and their meanings. Shall I rub them? If you haven't written, you can pause the video and then you can write. You can also take screenshot. Okay. Let me write some more words and their meanings from the same page number 20. Page number 42. Wraps. Wraps means shawls. Wraps means shawls. Clashed. Clashed means stopped. Hailing. Hailing. Hailing means calling. Hailing means calling here. Okay. Wearily. Wearily. Sorry. Wearily means much tired. Much tired. Okay. So that's all. So please note them down. You can also write meanings of these words in your book. WARPS. Wraps means shawls. CLASHED. Clashed. Clashed means stopped. H-A-I-L-L-I-N-G, hailing. Hailing means calling. W-E-A-R-I-L-Y, wearily. Wearily means much tired. Okay, students. So now look at page number 42. I am going to read out and explain. She fell upon the neck of her friend, embarrassed her with passion, then went away with her treasure. So now she fell upon the neck of her friend. So she hugged her friend, embarrassed her with passion, then went away with her treasure, then went away with that necklace. The day of the ball arrived. Madame Loisel was a great success. So now the day of the ball, the day of the party arrived, and this day was a great success for Madame Loisel. She was the prettiest of all, elegant, gracious, smiling and full of joy. She was the prettiest of all. Madame Loisel, Matilda Loisel, was the prettiest lady in the party. She was elegant. She was, attractive. She was having attractive style, gracious, comfortable. She was, looking like rich, a rich person, a rich lady, smiling and full of joy. So she was smiling and full of happiness. All the men noticed her, asked her name, and wanted to be presented. All the men in the party, they asked her name. They wanted to dance with the lady. She danced with enthusiasm. Matilda, she danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure, thinking of nothing but all this admiration, this victory to complete and sweet to her heart. So thinking of nothing, she was, like intoxicated, very much, involved. She was very much happy. She, lost her control out of happiness, out of excitement, out of pleasure, thinking of nothing but all this admiration. She was only thinking about her admiration, and as the people who were, in the party, they were admiring Matilda, admiring her beauty. She went home towards 4 o'clock in the morning. Then she went her home about 4 o'clock in the morning. Her husband had been half asleep in one of the little saloons since midnight with 3 other gentlemen whose wives were enjoying themselves very much. So Matilda's husband already since midnight he was sleeping in a saloon with 3 other men whose wives were also enjoying the party like Matilda. She wished to hurry away in order not to be noticed by the other women who were wrapping themselves in rich furs. So Matilda was in a hurry to run away. She did not want to be seen by other ladies who were wrapping themselves with the costly blankets, but Matilda had no costly blanket. She wrapped herself in a cheap blanket, so that is why she did not want to be seen by them. Loisel detained her. Wait, said he, I am going to call a cab. Loisel stopped her, saying that he was going to call a cab, but she would not listen and descended the steps rapidly. But Matilda did not listen to her husband, and she descended the steps. She went downstairs. When they were in the street, they found no carriage, and they began to seek for one, hailing the coachman whom they saw at a distance. So they did not, find any cab. They started crying out now to a coachman whom they saw at a distance. They walked along towards the river, hopeless and shivering. So they walked along towards the river. They were hopeless and shivering, as it was the night of winter. Finally, they found one of those old carriages that one sees in Paris after nightfall. So finally, they saw a carriage which could be seen in Paris after nightfall. It took them as far as their door, and they went wearily up to their apartment. So the carriage took them to their home, and now, as it was, earlier it was 4 o'clock, so they were feeling tired, so they went to sleep. It was all over for her. For Matilda, now it was all over. She enjoyed a lot. On his part, he remembered that he would have to be at office by 10 o'clock. As far as Matilda's husband concerned, so she just remembered that she had to be office by 10 o'clock in the next morning. She removed the wraps from her shoulders before the glass for a final view of herself in her glory. So as she was looking beautiful, she had a pretty dress, so she wanted to have once more look before mirror. So that is why she went and stand in front of the mirror to have one more look of her beauty. Suddenly she uttered a cry, but suddenly when she saw herself in the mirror, she started crying. Her necklace was not around her neck, because she did not find her necklace around her head. So suddenly she started crying as she did not find the necklace around her neck. Okay. So before moving on, let us go through those questions which were asked in the beginning. So what fresh problem now disturbs Madame Loisel? Beta, page number 41. 2 questions have been given before beginning this part. Okay, so let us go through those questions, let us discuss their answers, then I will move on. Okay. What fresh problem now disturbs Madame Loisel? So what was her first now fresh problem? So her fresh problem was that she did not have anything to wear around her neck. How is the problem solved? So her husband suggested her to go to one of her friend, and she went to Mrs. Forestier and borrowed her necklace. So thus this problem was solved. Okay. So now before moving on, let us go through two more questions which we will try to answer after finishing this part. What do Mr. and Madame Loisel do next? How do they replace the necklace? So dear students, as we have seen that when Matilda returned from party, and once again when she went in front of the mirror for a final look before changing her clothes, as she was looking very pretty, she found that necklace was not around her neck. It means she had lost the necklace somewhere. So now another problem arises for them. So let's see what happened next in the story. Loisel, already half undressed, asked, "What is the matter?" So Loisel, as he returned from the party, he was changing her dress. So already he was half undressed. So he already half undressed. He asked his wife, Madame Loisel, what was the matter, what the matter was. She turned towards him excitedly. I no longer have Madame Forestier's necklace. Now she was, she was stammering. She was unable to speak properly. She was stammering that she did not have Madame Forestier's necklace, as she had lost that necklace somewhere. He arose in dismay. So now also, he also got disappointed. What? How is that? He said, what? How it happened? It is not possible. It is not possible that you have lost the necklace which you had borrowed. And they looked in the folds of dress, in the folds of cloak, in the pockets, everywhere. They could not find it. So they looked for the necklace everywhere, folds of the clothes, folds of the cloak, but they did not find the necklace. He asked, "You are sure still had it when we left the minister's house?" Then husband asked, "Are you sure the necklace was around your neck when you left the minister's house?" He confirmed whether he was having the necklace around her neck when she left minister's house. "Yes, I felt it as we came out." She said, "Yes, I felt it when we came out. But if you had lost it in the street, we should have heard it fall." Then further, her husband said that if you should have lost the necklace in the street, we must have it falling. We must have heard it falling. It must be in the cab. Then he said, the necklace must be in the cab. We have lost the necklace in the cab. The necklace fell in the cab. "Yes, it is possible. Did you take the number?" He said, "Yes, it is possible that the necklace would have fell in the cab." So he said, "Have you if you had taken the number? He further asked. No. And you? Did you notice what it was? Then she asked, have you noticed what was the number? No. So both of them, they did not notice the number of the cab. They looked at each other, utterly cast down. So they looked at each other, downhearted. Cast down means downhearted. Cast down. Cast down means downhearted. Okay, so they looked at each other, downhearted. Cast down means downhearted. Finally, Loisel dressed himself again. Then Loisel dressed himself again. I am going, he said, over the track where we went on foot to see if I can find it. He said that now he was going over the track where they went on, to look for the necklace. Now Mr. Loisel, he once again dressed up and left for searching the necklace. So he went for looking for the necklace. And he went. She remained in her evening gown, not having the force to go to bed. So the lady remained in her evening house. She dared not to go on the bed, to go to the bed. Towards 7 o'clock, her husband returned. Now by morning 7 o'clock, in the morning 7 o'clock, her husband came back. He had found nothing, but he did not find the necklace. He went to the police and to the cab offices and put an advertisement in the newspaper offering a reward. So he went to the police and to the cab offices and put an advertisement in the newspaper also and offering a reward, even though he did not find the necklace. She waited all the day in a state of bewilderment. Bewilderment means, perplexity. Bewilderment means, let me write here. Yes, bewilderment means, perplexity. Perplexity. Okay. Bewilderment means perplexity. Okay. So I hope you have noted it down. So, dear students, she waited all day in a state of perplexity before this frightful disaster. Loisel returned in the evening, his face pale. He had discovered nothing. So, Mr. Loisel tried his best. He went to police station. He went to cab offices and he also gave advertisement in the newspaper offering a reward. Even then he returned empty-handed. He got nothing. He said, "Write to your friend that you have broken the clasp of the necklace, and that you will have it repaired. That will give us time. Okay, then he suggested that she should write her friend that she had broken the clasp. Clasp means link. CLASP. Clasp. Let me write here. Clasp means link. LINK. Then Matilda's husband told her that she should write to her friend that she had broken the link of the necklace, and that she would have it repaired, and she would have it repaired. She has given it for repair. Okay, and that will give us time. She said it will give us time to think what we should do, how we should return her necklace. So it will give us time. She wrote as he dictated. So as Matilda's husband dictated, Matilda wrote her friends. Okay, students, so it's all about today's video. So in my next video I'll explain the remaining part of this chapter, the remaining part of this beautiful story. So see you students tomorrow. Bye bye.